Welcome back to the Dinar Chronicle, your trusted source for breaking alerts, critical financial insights, and exclusive updates on global currency revaluation developments. In today's urgent report, we're diving into one of the most closely guarded and most misunderstood topics in the Iraqi Dinar community, contract rates. Specifically, we'll be examining the reality behind reports of a potential $6 plus IQD contract rate, and whether you, as a holder of Iraqi Dinar, could be eligible for one of these highly classified, tier-based redemption opportunities. For months now, rumors have been circulating within private groups, investor circles, and alternative finance forums suggesting that select individuals and entities may have access to what's being referred to as contract rates. That is, exchange rates significantly higher than the public or street rate expected to be offered once the revaluation officially goes live. These contract rates, allegedly tied to negotiated international oil and trade agreements, are believed to be structured under closed-door arrangements between governments, multinational energy corporations, and top-tier banking institutions that have previously engaged in sovereign-level currency transactions. The prevailing number making waves is $6 per one Iraqi dinar, and in some cases, even higher depending on specific conditions and contractual obligations tied to oil credits and geopolitical contributions. So how real is this $6 plus figure? And more importantly, are you, the average dinar holder, eligible to receive anything close to that rate? To unpack this, let's start by understanding the mechanics behind contract rates. Unlike general exchange rates set by the market or central banks, contract rates are thought to be pre-negotiated values reserved for participants who are playing a strategic role in the global reset infrastructure. This includes individuals who have signed NDAs, groups affiliated with Tier 1 banks, and asset-backed redemption accounts reportedly coordinated through redemption centers in the United States and select international financial hubs. According to sources close to both military financial circles and private banking sectors, contract rates are not meant for public dissemination. These rates are part of structured liquidity events that require compliance, transparency, and involvement in certain post-exchange projects, frequently aligned with humanitarian initiatives or large-scale infrastructure development contracts under global financial recovery frameworks. Eligibility, it is said, hinges on multiple layers of preclearance including KYC, Know Your Customer verification, citizenship background checks, declaration of source funds, and the willingness to participate in a monitored payout schedule rather than immediate cash access. In short, the $6 plus rate is not being offered to just anyone walking into a bank with a few notes of IQD. Furthermore, several indications suggest that these contract rates are limited in volume and availability. This means that even if you meet all preliminary eligibility criteria, there may be a cap on how many dinar you can redeem at the higher rate. Anything above that threshold, usually quoted in the millions, is expected to be redeemed at a standard international rate, which analysts believe could be somewhere between $1.50 to $3.50 depending on how Iraq rolls out its revaluation through the IMF and international financial systems. Keep in mind that the IMF's Article 8 compliance, along with Iraq's growing integration into the global financial structure via the SWIFT and QFS systems, plays a crucial role in determining how flexible and accessible these rates can be across international platforms. Adding further complexity to the situation is the role of redemption centers. These facilities, which are said to operate under non-disclosure agreements and heightened security protocols, are reportedly where contract rates are being quietly processed. Individuals invited to redemption centers are often pre-screened, sometimes through group affiliations or asset protection trusts, and are required to present detailed financial plans that justify the higher redemption values they are asking for. In some cases, these plans must demonstrate how the funds will be used to support economic development or humanitarian efforts, aligning with the broader goals of the so-called global currency reset. This brings us to the key question on everyone's mind: can the everyday IQD holder, perhaps someone who invested early but outside of formal groups or high-level contacts, still qualify for a contract rate? The honest answer is possibly, but with significant conditions. While some independent investors have reportedly received invitations through vetted banking contacts or private exchanges, most people will only be offered the international or market rate unless they are part of a structured group with previously negotiated arrangements. There are whispers within Tier 2 and Tier 3 banking circles that individuals may be allowed to negotiate a higher rate, potentially above $3.50, if they can present a legitimate use case and meet the necessary legal and compliance frameworks. However, there's no indication that $6 plus rates will be made widely available without special designation or clearance. It's important to mention that the Central Bank of Iraq has not publicly confirmed any revaluation timelines or specific rate structures, contract or otherwise. Nevertheless, activity across multiple financial corridors, particularly in the Gulf region, Asia, and select European banking networks, suggests that Iraq is preparing to take a larger role in international trade. Their recent acceleration of oil contracts, renewed gold reserves reporting, and increased digital integration through blockchain-backed clearing systems have all been cited by financial analysts as signs of imminent revaluation planning. If Iraq pegs the dinar to oil exports or regional trading blocks, the upward potential of the currency may indeed justify a high private rate under special circumstances. But again, those circumstances will likely remain reserved for institutions or entities directly contributing to Iraq's economic stabilization or global development programs. Adding weight to these developments is recent chatter involving the U.S. Treasury and select international banks, where test exchanges reportedly took place using placeholder screens that showed IQD values ranging between $4.20 and $6.35. These numbers were never made public, but they've been cited in private investor calls and intelligence briefings circulating among financial insiders. It's worth noting that these rates may reflect contractual simulations rather than confirmed public release figures. In essence, they serve as internal templates for what could happen under ideal, highly controlled financial agreements. This is where speculation enters the picture, and it's why so much confusion surrounds the notion of contract rates. As always, we urge our viewers to remain grounded and cautious when dealing with speculative financial instruments like foreign currencies. The Iraqi dinar has long been the subject of debate, misinformation, and in some cases outright fraud. While there is no denying that Iraq's economic indicators are improving and that legitimate revaluation discussions are taking place behind the scenes, none of this guarantees access to inflated exchange rates without formal validation. If you are approached by individuals or groups promising you a guaranteed $6 plus rate without requiring full compliance and documentation, you are likely being misled. Redemption at contract rates will require verified channels, signed legal paperwork, and a clear understanding of what you're entering into. For those still hoping to access a contract rate, the most practical advice is to connect with licensed financial advisors who understand structured settlements, asset protection, and currency compliance. Be wary of online groups that offer vague promises with no traceable credentials. Monitor official channels, stay updated with global banking shifts, and prepare your financial documents in case a real opportunity presents itself. Above all, remember that contract rates are not lottery tickets. They're tools used in high-level financial negotiations, typically in exchange for long-term project commitments or infrastructure investments. In closing, the $6 plus IQD contract rate may be real, but it is not universal. Eligibility depends on your network, your financial transparency, your compliance with redemption guidelines, and your strategic role in post-RV planning. We'll continue to monitor developments closely and bring you verified, real-time updates as they become available. Make sure you're subscribed to the Dinar Chronicle and turn on notifications so you never miss a critical update that could impact your financial future.